My Energy Ecliptic, Love's Circle Persona, Self-Love, Best Love, World Love, you know my honor. Greetings. I be your host, JaMes Peter Bastien. In peace, prosperity, power, it's my honor to share my affirmation, visualization, and unisons manifestation in all satisfaction. The mind, body, and soul is to grow in all facets. Presented in procreation. This is MB9T Podcast show. May you be at peace in whatever the action is proclaiming. Ascending the greatest of all satisfaction like your goals are bullseye. Your actions the dart. Believe in you no matter the ending or the start. For your life, must you claim it. What is success without the breath? So take one for each moment that you condone it. You are what you feel that you are. You are what you can heal from the beginning or the start. Who am I? My name is JaMes Peter Bastien. Blood lineage from Africa, from the prospective tribe of the Yoruba-Benue Nigerian tribes. Before possibly what was written to be ancestral slavery. Within that, we was moved to the land of Hispaniola. Later on, transitioned to two different countries of what is known to be Haiti on one side, on the opposite side, Dominican Republic. That country known to be Haiti, coming from the word of hate, from the etymology term, Haiti, the land of hate. Haitian, someone who hate themselves or their surrounding. The true origin name for this country is Haiti, the land of mountains. Haitian, to be defined by the people. So, in getting to know me, getting better acquainted with me, you will proclaim and you will understand that I have a diverse perspective why I allude to think differently than most. And that I would omit myself truly came from the potency of knowledge that is governed by that spirit. I am a porter of information, and these information that I obtain are reminded by people, places, and things. The only way I can be better in doing and being is being able to intuitively see the things that I've seen. In all actuality, let's break down and facet of this diverse being that I've been able to be blessed with by the spiritual realms that govern such. In my diversity, I know one thing, I am a human. Secondly, goes into my skin tone. I am a melanated brother, a man born with such African distinct features. That is I. There's no way around that. But I see deeper than that. In depth, for me, spirituality is one knowing of themselves and their surrounding. Spirituality is you galvanizing yourself amongst knowing that there's a God in you as there's God in other people, and so on and so forth. That you are the best of the best, understanding that anyone can be the best of their best. You fear no evil, you see no evil, but you could proclaim protection in any evil, in any evil that can be done to you or your surrounding. So, in my fortitude and comprehension, I'm not really into the spirituality where it is subjugated to you wear this, you eat this, you from this location geographically in Earth that makes you more spiritual than the other. I'm not confined to any of those theories or mindset. I look to understand that anywhere on God's green earth, I can be as great as I can be. I look into humanity being able to express the emotional expression that we carry in human form, right? No matter where you're from, we all laugh, we all cry, we all have the emotion of sadness, happiness, and so on. So for me, I propel connectivity through telepathy. I think from my perspective of knowledge and comprehension that language was the barrier that didn't enhance the human experience, but actually broke away, right? So between whether you speak Latin, English, so on and so forth, the language itself is decoded to immensely mean something to that language spoken to those that understand it, right? So within language, there's way of saying things, way of doing things, and so on that can only be captivated if you comprehend such language. If you're out in that comprehension, you're losing in touch of that human experience. So the language itself have separated a lot of the unisons that we share in the human experience. The unisons of feeling, right? What we can feel in our surrounding, how silence carries such a powerful conversation. It begins to separate us because once you're enabled to lose that telepathic view that we share as human, you then now only hold on to these words of emotion to express. You can see someone crying, but in our society, we're still galvanized to ask, "Hey, what's wrong? What's the matter?" So now you want someone who's already impacted by in a sadness emotion or a heartful emotion to tell you in the exact manner or the exact reasoning to that point where you can already exactly see it, right? So in that point, it's just one of those things that reminds you that sometimes we attempt to clarify things more than we have to, which end up making things more complicated down the road, right? So within my being, that's that's me in totality and spirituality. The namaste, the I and I, the equality of knowing that any man could be me and vice versa. I could be any man, so there's no one better than me and no one I'm better than in that perspective, right? Um, Culturally, from my upraising, it's a little different. Wasn't actually raised from that standard living of a mother and father. I was actually blessed to say I was raised by the universe. Many people by the by my two, which means what is written. Many people by that perspective would already had their hand placed in my life for that particular reasoning or for that particular reasoning. So I'm just really grateful that the world itself assured me that before things occur, there was already a line for it to occur for me. In a lot of ways, I can say that. Um, give you a little background about me in that sense. Artistically, um, creativity is my fatherhood in that sense. The ability, well, before creativity, let's go with this. Uh, my spiritual power at first I thought it was through literature, but I learned it's the ability to be in tune. My true spiritual power that was governed by my spirit is being an insightful spirit where I'm constantly reminded of by my greatness amongst people, places, and things, and just having those tough lessons that's actually the best lessons, right? You can't never fail in life if you place your attempt in every try. And so for me, it's been unfortunate, but the best success for me has come from the perspective of what somebody would call failure. because in actuality there's a lesson in such, right? So I proclaim to always learn. In that regards, that diverse path that life gave me, having to be my own parent, has utilized two vocal points of words that's always potently sticks out to me like a like a sore thumb, right? To that perspective, you can say, and for me, it's accountability and ownership, um, comprehending you either make something out of life or life's just gonna give you whatever it decided to give you, whether that's death, whether that's failures, whether that's um, lack of doing. So kind of earlier, what I was expressing in regards to not having that structured stability of an upraising that as most normal kids would have, because again, I'm not the only kid that didn't grow up with no mother and father, but I think a lot of people take those situations and allow their environment to proclaim them to be what they feel rather than get more in depth, insightfully what's meant for them. So for me, a lot of my experiences, like I said, I'm more appreciative amongst my spirit because where a lot of people saw failure, I had a driven willpower that was comprehending that hey, we're not alone. Intuitively, by your spirit, since your birth, you're galvanized to take your own route. You're galvanized to take your own lane in this lifetime. So for me, it was, although I could have just easily just been a flesh crash out in regards to hey making the simple excuses. I don't got nobody to look out for me. I don't have no curfew. I can go to jail if I want to. In that regard, I can show the world I'm angry. I can show the world I'm bad too. You know, all those simplistic circumstances that a lot of people go through that makes that cycle of repeating that negativity that much easier. But it's almost for me because I had so much internal time to kind of configure myself since my surrounding was already depleted on trying to place myself in a family dynamic or some cultural dynamic. Being lost allowed me to find myself quicker and learn myself a lot quicker than I think if I was to be stipulated to some family or culture ways of doing and being, right? Because once you find that grouping, it's very easy to say, okay, I know this, I know that, this is where I'm come from, this, that, and the third. But the trials and tribulation really allow me to not be governed by any one morals and principle, rather find minds more completed to the solution that I was first revered to now confine me, right? So sometimes for most people when they dealt a bad situation or a bad hand, their comprehension in return of acting it out is doing as what was done to them. But for me, if I receive hate just gave me a learning path of what love looked like, even though I didn't receive it in the love format. But if I know this is to be hate, then and I know in spiritly for me, it doesn't feel right, then I know there's another way of doing it, right? So there's always a learning perspective, depending if you want to learn from that perspective. And that's me in totality. So with that creativity comes a lot when it comes to, like I was saying earlier, the literature aspect of that. With literature, I'm fortitude in many different levels with that, whether it's music, whether it's poetry, whether it's literature by books, um, dropping thoughts, critical thinking, um, writing with purpose, writing with fulfillment. That's always the big drive for my writing materials. With that balance come the knowing of what is health, and to me, that's the actuality of what is true wealth. Um, so nutrition for me, also too, based on a unfortunate circumstance of when I was younger, I got a bad injury that pretty much unbalanced my Adam's apple to where my breath threshold is correct and one side, the opposite side is unbalanced, right? So spiritual warrior, spiritual warfare, we all go through them, and however you look out why or that happens, I know for sure I'm never a victim of any circumstances. I'm just a warrior that's going through it, and I shall find a way with the strength of my willpower. Right. So yeah. So with that, fitness is big for me. Fitness in the partness of actually just being great and well altogether, not actually just the physical viewership of working out. Wellness is big for me because it's the taking care of the mind, body, and soul. Not just forgetting that the mind has to be worked out as well. The spirit has to be worked out. So, what are you feeding the spirit by nutrition? What are you feeding the spirit by time? Right? How do you engage more with the spirit? Right? Do you meditate? Do you allow yourself to intuitively find those visions? Right? So, working out the mind goes into, well, you're a sponge. What are you in placing in your mind that strengthens your mind? So what's weakening your mind, right? How do you assess your mind to be relaxed? What brings your mind peace? So on and so forth. So for me, wellness itself doesn't just go into the track of you running, you lifting weights, not just the physical, but it's the mental and spiritual side of being fit. So that's big for me, as well as you will learn in a continuous series or episode that we shall have. Those are the biggest things for me, and in true actuality, I guess the biggest question for this first episode is what is the purpose, or why did I feel the need to start this podcast? And in true actuality, for me, the need was really very simple because of that diverse being that I carry and cherish to be. I understand my roles, goals, and purpose in life. I understand the different diaphragm that I bring as a learner, earner, and giver. So that's a step method that you'll learn as well. That I say a lot, leg, which is actually from a great book I read. So I'll give you a note on that. It's called Brian Tracy, No Excuses. So leg was an acronym that goes for learn, earn, and give. What you learn, you can place your earning from, and obviously what you earn from, you can allow yourself to give back from, right? So in that, it's like a circle of life from that progression standpoint: learn, earn, give, right? So yeah, with this podcast, obviously with my fortitude and spirituality, I look also to showcase some different art form and poetry, art form and music, literature, just engaging within my spirit to express outward more to the universe. And I know I have a lot to offer. So really, this is why I need to assure I get this done. A lot of the conversation also is gonna be blunt, transparent, direct. I think our society is timid to speak on a lot of the different things regarding woman role, man role, the views of our cultures, or the different culture that is set in one society, right? The aspect of what is religion, what is the true comprehension or understanding of financial freedom or financial literacy, right? we'll have discussion on the different music and art form that's taken upon this and how that's utilized against us within our own knowledge. So just I'm not too big on the entertainment term, right? Based on the different creators that comes and goes, because I think a lot of time with entertainment, you look at that person or that entity as if they're just here for your entertainment purpose. And so for me as an artist, I love to cherish and honor the greatness of others. I'm not really the type of person that care too much amongst like being a fan, and I think fanboying takes a lot of the greatness that we all have as human beings, right? Because it's so like, oh, this is my person, that's my person, so on and so forth, rather than you actually really appreciating the art, whether from that man and woman, right? So an artist can have one great song, and that's the song that speaks to my soul, then shall it be. It's not really up to me, or I'm not that type of person that's like, oh, this one is bad, that sucks. Like, I think we lose ourselves in appreciating one another with the judgment perspective, right? Everybody knows that we walk around as imperfect human, but at the same time, everybody view themselves as like they're the only one. So it just simply doesn't work as such. But in all regularity, I just feel we need to love ourselves more. I just feel like self-love is a duh. This is one of the biggest reasons the podcast is provided. Yeah, that's my thing. I'm a teacher of self-love. I think I know the property of respect starts with self first, and our knowledge is somewhat learned that for you to receive love, you go outward and look for it or obtain it the way you want it to be. But in all actuality, you need to look inward and obtain it based on how you fulfill it to be. And what's naturally going to match it is you being yourself, and the universe going to align you with your surrounding that matches you internally. So self-love is the best love I've learned. I was able to learn a multifaceted from different people and so on and so forth. But what's always equated to me to never change, to stay constant, is me knowing that in my worst day, I'm going to love myself. Me knowing that in my best day, I still got room of improvement in loving myself, right? But in totality, when you think about loving someone else and so on and so forth, it's inevitable. It's bound to change. And also, people are bound to change what they love, right? But the lesson, the experience is something that we have to be more in love with rather than the expectations or limitation that could come with people, places, and things that makes that love now become a malicious perspective. So just choose wisely, be careful, and put self first. You can't never go wrong in that regards. And truly, this would be a short episode because again, this was me vocalizing to you all somewhat of who I am, somewhat of where this podcast will be going. But I'm a very intriguing ecliptic when it comes to planning. Yeah, so you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out in due time. Sometime. Well, I'm hoping that I'll be consistent with my intro. What I mean by that is like I did see myself like, okay, keeping the one that I have right now, but I also see myself like, I feel like rapping one day I might rap. I feel like singing one day I might do that. Poetry I might do that. Start off very philosophical, I might do that. Hey, there's no There's no limitations besides the ones that I set, and that's what I mean by that for the two. Just be yourself, be great in all that you do, and nobody can stop that. And all, I thank you so much for your time thus far. So what I'll do, just a peace and prosperity back to you. I would love to finish off this first episode of many to come with a poem written by Di. It is titled Me Backboned. I stand strong, understanding your fear. Protective, there's no wrong as you being my rear. Sincerely, I start with an appreciation to you as dearly. What I front is not my back views as I feel clearly. Thrice born, thrice scorned, my life through a trilogy. In my efforts, hard to find, my quest with serendipity. My body is a planet, and spirits I'm a universe. And conscious a slave, inherited my father's curse. Battling the demons which were stuffed in my mother's purse. Still I rise, daily having you to fall on. Never alone, I stand strong, I love you. Self-letter to me, my strong backbone. Mwah. With that being said, it's been real. It's been real. Intuitively, I know you can feel as I can feel. So in triology, let's keep it trill. Time comes, time goes. You and I both got to pay the bill. I just want a Fresh Prince of the Bel Air without the Uncle Phil. Maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 in my bank account. 21 Savage. I need the meals. Hello. Okay, it's time for me to go. Thank you again. I love you. Without you knowing someone love you, I'm telling you I love you. So you better trust you when you look in that mirror. No one's above you. Thank you. Thank you for your time, appreciation, and understanding. It's been the MB9. That was so off. Thank you for your time and understanding. It's been the MB9T Podcast. So MB9T. I got to work on that. But may you work on me like I work on you. Self-love, best love. You know what to do. I'm going to holler at y'all. Till next time, Mr. Peter Bastien out of here.